First, we're going to test our eyes to see what's going on and if you even need this work. So take your index finger and look at it as I am. I recommend recording yourself so you can see if your eyes are equally tracking. Oftentimes there will be one that lags, especially if you had a concussion or some sort of head injury. We're going to do 10 clockwise rotations. You keep your head still as best as possible, and you make the circle as big as possible. If this is your first time doing this, you may want to go a lot slower than what I'm demonstrating here, and that is fine. If you can only do one very slow but very purposeful circle with great technique going clockwise and then one going counterclockwise, that's fine. We all start somewhere, and it's better to learn how to crawl first than to just go out and run, if you know what I'm trying to say. If at any point as well you start to feel nauseous, dizziness, other forms of sickness, a little bit of a headache in between the eyes or behind the eyes, wherever, it's a sign that your eyes need a break. So respect your tissues. Your body is doing what it can for you, and it doesn't mean that it's bad for you. It's just like when you exercise at the gym and you haven't worked out in a while, you're going to be sore, and that's to be expected. But you have to also, again, respect those tissues and go at your own pace. We have the rest of your life to get better, so just take it one day at a time. I'll take a little bit of a break. You may need to switch hands at this point, switch arms, and we'll perform the opposite way. So if you just did counterclockwise, do clockwise, and vice versa. You may feel or notice one side is easier compared to the other. That can be normal depending on what eye is more dominant. Ultimately, just do your best. Every time you do this, you'll get better and better because our eyes have muscles too. So just like doing push-ups or planks, you start to become stronger. The body will adapt to the changing circumstances. So if you're starting to give that input to improve, the body will do that because it feels it needs to adapt to accommodate your new lifestyle and new activities that you're placing upon it. So that's a great thing about the body. It will go both ways. If we don't use something, we lose it. But if we start to use it again, the body starts to relearn and bring that movement, strength, or whatever back. And again, if I'm going too fast for you, take this at your own pace. I cannot stress that enough. And if you can only get through 1 or 2, 5, 9, and not the full 10, work up to it. Moving on to the next exercise, hold your index finger out in front of you. Keep your eyes on the tip of your nail or the tip of your finger and turn your head side to side as if you're saying no. You may notice one side again is easier than the other. Do your best and take note what side feels worse, and you may want to even write this down on a sheet of paper so you can track how you're improving. So you can say, for example, Monday, whatever the date is, you can say, okay, turning my head to the right, I felt more eye strain on the left eye. So when you go back 2 weeks later to look at your notes, you can compare, oh wow, I don't have any issues. Now switch the finger again, and you're going to nod yes. Again, keeping your eyes on the tip of the finger and moving your head in as much range of motion as you can. So you stop when you no longer can just see the tip of the finger forward as well as backwards. So we do about 10. Speed here is up to you, and the amount is up to you as well. Go at your own pace. And remember, if you start to feel any dizziness, nausea, headaches, give yourself a break, stop, breathe, and try again in the next 24 to 72 hours. Now this is the next one here. We're going to be bringing your index finger inwards. Keep your eye on the finger and then track it outwards. So you're extending your elbow and your arm out in front of you as much as you can, and then following your finger as close as you can get to your nose. If you can touch your nose, great, and you can still feel that you have good eye control, awesome. But say you get to 25% of the way, or 50% of the way, or 75% of the way, or 90% of the way, and you start to feel your eyes losing the finger, then just stop and work within that range. Again, keep track of it and write a little note in a diary or a tracking journal so that you can compare notes a couple weeks later at a time. Again, frequency and speed here is up to you. And now here's a bonus tip. Say you notice one eye has a more difficult time than the other, you're going to cover that better eye so that your slacking eye has to do some work. So for me, this felt like the most difficult one. So if you're good at this, you can just cover your eye as another option, or even better, if you happen to have an eye patch, or if you really want to go ahead and be committed, you can take just a little cotton ball and tape it right over your eye gently, and you can just go back and forth. Again, we're working on the weaker eye, so don't just rely on the strong side. When you cover up the one eye, you know that saying, when you lose one sense, whether that be your smell or your hearing or whatever, your other senses heighten. So that is what we're trying to achieve, is we're going to cover up the stronger side so the weaker side has no excuse and it has to pick it up. Now that's pretty advanced, so if this is just the first time you've done this video and you're getting to the end, you're just like, wow, I've had a really hard day, and you need a couple days to recover in between, that is normal, and that's great, because now we're making the invisible visible. So that's why you get headaches when you read too long. That's why you get headaches when you do computer work. It's because your one eye is slacking, so your poor other stronger eye has to make up for that lack of tracking ability of the other eye. Thank you so much to waiting till the end of the video. I would really like you to subscribe to the channel and support me and support us through this journey. If you have any questions at all or suggestions of videos that you would like me to release in the future, please leave that in the comments below. If you have any comments, again, for me, I will get back to every single one of you as best I can. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy your day.